I'll be performing The Last Leaf by O. Henry. In a little district west of Washington Square, the streets have run crazy and broken themselves into small strips called places. An artist once discovered a valuable possibility in the street. So, to quaint old Greenwich Village, the art people soon came from. In a squatty 3-story brick, Sue and Chauncey had their studio. Chauncey was familiar for Joanna. One was from Maine, the other from California. In November, Chauncey was smoking pneumonia. She lay looking through the small Dutch window panes at the blank side of the next brick house. One afternoon, the doctor invited Sue to the hallway. "She has one chance in, let us say 10, he said as he shook the mercury down in his clinical thermometer. "And that chance is for her to want to live. The lady has made up her mind that she isn't going to get well. Has she anything on her mind?" She wanted to paint the Bay of Naples someday, said Sue. "Paint? Bosh. She anything worth thinking twice? A man, for instance?" "A man," said Sue with a Jew's heart twang in her voice. "Is a man worth—" "No, doctor, there's nothing of the sort." "Well, it is weakness, then. I'll do all that science can, but once my patient begins counting the carriages in her funeral procession, subtract 50% from the curative powers of medicine." Sue found Chauncey, staring out the window, counting backwards. 12, said Chauncey, and a little later, 11, and then 10 and 9. Sue looked solicitously out the window. What was there to count? An old ivy vine, gnarled and decayed at the roots, climbed halfway up the brick wall. "What is it, dear?" asked Sue. "Tell your study." 6, said Chauncey in almost a whisper. "Falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. There goes another. There's only 5 left now." "5 what, dear? Tell your study." "Leaves. And the ivy vine. When the last one goes, you must go with it too. Didn't the doctor tell you?" "Oh, I've never heard of such nonsense," cried Sue with magnificent scorn. "What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? Try to take some broth now and let your study get back to her drawing." "Tell me as soon as you've finished," said Chauncey, closing her eyes. "Just want to see the last one fall. Tired of waiting. Tired of thinking. Just want to go sailing down, just like one of those poor, tired leaves." "Try to get some sleep," said Sue. "I must call Berman up to be the model for my old hermit miner." Old Berman was a painter who lived on the ground floor beneath them. He was past 60 and had a Michelangelo's Moses beard curling down from the head of a satyr, along with the body of an imp. Berman was a failure in art. He'd always been about to paint a masterpiece, but he had never yet begun it. Sue found Berman, smelling strongly of juniper berries, in his dimly lighted den below. She told him of Chauncey's fancies. Old Berman, with his red eyes plainly streaming, shouted his contempt and derision for such idiotic imaginings. "Was!" he cried. "Is there people in the world with their foolishness to die because leaves? They drop off from a confounded vine? I have not heard of such things. No, I will not pose as a hermit for your fool hermit thunderhead. Why do you allow that silly business to come into the brain of hers? Oh, that poor little Miss Yancey. If you don't care to pose me, Mr. Berman, you need it. But I think you're a horrid old slobberty-gibbet." "You're just like a woman," yelled Berman. "Who said I will not pose for you? Go on, I come with you. For half an hour I have been trying to say, but I am ready to pose. This is not any place in which one so good as Miss Yancey shall lie sick. One day I will paint a masterpiece. We shall all go away together. Yes." When Sue awoke from an hour's nap the next morning, she found Chauncey staring at the drawn green shade. "Pull it up. I want to see," she ordered in a whisper. Wearily, Sue obeyed. Lo! After the beating rains, fierce gusts of wind, there yet stood out against the brick wall one ivy leaf. "It's the last one. If it falls today, I must die with it." Chauncey lay looking at it for a long time. Suddenly she turned to Sue and said, "Sonny, I've been a bad girl. Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me how wicked I've been. It was a sin to want to die." Later that afternoon, Sue came to the bed where Chauncey lay. "I have something to tell you," she said. "Mr. Berman, He died in the hospital today of pneumonia. The janitor found him. His shoes and clothes were wet and icy cold, and couldn't imagine where he'd been. And then they found a lantern, still lit, and a ladder, and scattered brushes, and a palette with yellow and green colors mixed on it. And look out the window, dear, that last ivy leaf. Didn't you wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew? Darling, it's Berman's masterpiece. He painted it there the night the last leaf fell.